Live from Hollywood, California, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funnies, Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. I'm back. I'm so back. It's almost like tight jeans and hoochie daddy shorts. Y'all calling them hoochie daddy shorts, but dudes used to wear short shorts back in the 70s and the 80s. Go back and watch old movies and old TV shows. Y'all remember Different Strokes? Remember Mr. Drummond used to wear the white tennis shorts and Jack Tripper from Three's Company? That ain't nothing new, man. So I'm back like hoochie daddy shorts, man. I want to welcome everybody to an all-new season of VJ's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm your host, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny. I'm going to get right to today's show, man. But to let you guys know, we are back all week, all football season, every day, 5 days a week, all football season, high school, college, NFL. We got a lot to get to. All year long preview shows coming up. My big NFL.com fantasy football draft is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. where I'm going to crush. I am the defending champion, and I will repeat, just like my Michigan Wolverines going to repeat, man. And I got an Aggie in the house today, man. I got an A&M Aggie, and we'll talk about them just a little bit, but he is mostly here to talk about our beloved Miami Dolphins, where he served majority of his career, was just a stalwart at left tackle and wherever else they needed him. The man only had like 3 holding penalties in his entire career, like 3 or 4, like his whole career. The man just did not hold, man. 9-time All-Pro left tackle out of Texas A&M, protected the great Dan Marino. Y'all know, y'all see the sign behind me. Dan Marino, top 5 all time. Yes, he is. I don't want to hear about that ring shit, man. But I bring to y'all my man. This dude, real talk, I respect him, not because he's a former Dolphin, not because, he did my show, but the fact that you could just tell good people when you meet good people. And black men, we need to mingle more with other good black men. And this is one of them dudes. And I follow him on Twitter. I see he jump on other people's show. He's not just trying to live off his name and fame and think he too high price and too high post to come mess with the community, man, that we build in here with the Underground Sports Talk. So I really do like this cat, man. He's fun, always fun to talk to. No further ado, man. What's up, man? Say what's up to everybody. Richmond Webb.
VJ, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Man, Pimpin', you already know what it is, man. I'm doing now. Look at you. Yo, you remind me, you so cool, bro. Real talk. You a cool dude. You remind me of the uncle that bring his own barbecue sauce to the cookout. That's it.
If that's what's necessary, that's what I got to do. I ain't mad at you, brother.
For real, man. How you been, man? Just real talk. How's the family? How's everybody, man?
Man, everybody good. Happy college football is started back in this weekend. Well, was it Thursday? I guess the first game kicks off. But glad NFL football's back. So this is my time of year. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Who you telling, man? How'd you think it? Just really quick. What'd you think of your Aggies on Saturday?
Defense looks really good. Offense not hitting on all cylinders, but I do look like they opened up the offense a little bit more where they're trying to take shots down the field, this and that. I do think that's necessary. And the other question mark I had was we got to do a little bit better blocking and get A-Chain going because that's a special individual. If he gets past the linebackers, it's a foot race to the end zone. So definitely looking for him having a big year for the Aggies as well.
Okay, awesome. So let's get right into it, man. There's been so much that's been made about the Miami Dolphins this year and what the Miami Dolphins are going to be. And we know all the offensive questions and stuff, but I want to get to like the guts of it, man, the bolts and nuts in it with you, man. So I text you the topics we wanted to talk about, but this morning I thought about the position groups because you are a former 9-time All-Pro. So if there's anybody that's qualified that I personally know that I can ask them about an offensive line, you might be the first guy on my list. I know athletes that played other positions, but you're probably the most decorated offensive lineman I personally can talk to. So I want to go right there because I think that's the pink elephant in the room in Miami, right, in South Beach. There's really not a question anywhere else, really. Defensive line, linebacker, secondary, special teams, 2 great kickers, a great punter, a great field goal kicker. We think Tua's the guy, but we don't need to talk about the receivers, bona fide, tight end, bona fide. It comes down from tackle to tackle, man. So I'll let you jump right in there, and I'll give you my thoughts after I hear from you. But tell me about this line, where you grade them, what we need, what we have.
Well, I think the thing that I do like is what Coach McDaniel did was he came in, addressed the fan base this offseason once he got the job. And then I think he had a conversation with Tua and told him his expectations and told him, he expected to be great, but he was going to have to work at it. And then the thing was, it was put up or shut up. And you start bringing in guys like Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, of course, the cheetah Tyreek Hill, along with the addition of other guys we had in the receiver core. The way he's building it is to be an explosive offense. And I think that's what got the fan base so excited. And also, I think one of the things is in his coach staff, I think he brought in some veteran coaches that helped with the development of like Jackson and Leon Eichenberg. Those were two young guys. They're on the opposite side now, but with them signing Armstead and Connor Williams, that kind of solidified the left side of the line. And so now Jackson's always been an athletic kid. I remember coming out of USC, seeing him, this and that. So he's got the skill set, this and that. But I think with the veteran offensive line coach that they brought in, having him tweak little fundamental things, this and that, is going to turn him into the player that they were expecting him to be when they drafted him out.
Do you really feel like that, or are you using optimism? Because I'm on the other side of that with Austin Jackson. I think the left side. I'll tell you what I think. You tell me how you grade, maybe how I'm viewing it. I think the left side, center to tackle is good. I don't think it's great, right. And I don't know if it can be great, but I think it's good. They're going to run left a lot. Yeah, I really do think. And they got a left-handed quarterback, right? So they're going to run left. They weren't worried about the blind side. They said, we're doing a lot of rollouts. A lot of our stuff's going to be this way anyway. We'll fix that, but we have to just go what we have. I saw Austin Jackson with my own eyes, Richmond. And when I was at a SC game, and I live in Los Angeles, so I see SC football. When he was taken in the first round of number 18, it was almost like, oh, okay. I didn't hate it, but it was like, okay. I never remember him jumping off the film to me or jumping just out. Like, man, did you see that pancake? Or USC is just running behind Austin all night, man, because he's just I never felt that. I never saw that. So when I hear, I think he's got the skill set. It's like, yeah, man, but what is it going to take, bro? You're in year 3, 4 now. Like these linemen these days that are touted to come in and maul, like Panay Sewell, right?
Yeah.
Touted to come in and maul. What did you do? He came in and mauled.
He's a beast. Yeah.
Mauled. Even you yourself, Austin, you came into the league. You were touted to maul and protect Marino. What'd you do from day one? You mauled and protected Marino.
But you know, to be honest, VJ, and you're right in your assessment as far as him coming out of USC. You got to think about it, because when I heard it, he was 20 years old, and I think if he stayed another year at SC, I think it would definitely help with his development. I think what they saw is a kid that really tests well, that had the athletic ability, run well, move well, this and that. But I think what kind of hindered his progress was under the old regime. I think the offensive line coach, he was a very young guy. So sometimes I think if he would have had this coach he has now, or a veteran coach, I think we would have seen his developmental progress faster. And I think maybe he might be more of a right tackle than left tackle, but I think he definitely has more of a chance to be more consistent this year, because it seems like he's playing a little bit. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater, this and that, but you just need a good offensive line. You don't need a great offensive line to win with the type of weapons that we have. So that's kind of how I look at it. And I think everybody, sometimes think that you got to have a line, kind of like Dallas did in the early 90s and this and that, when they had. And yeah.
How often are you going to get that, right?
You just not. But I do think they can be good enough to be productive. I think the question mark is still out on Austin Jackson, because I look at preseason, but I don't look at preseason because the starters may play at most a half. Most of them play maybe up to a quarter and a half in the preseason, and now they're trying not to get guys hurt. So the real test will be Sunday when we go up against New England. So you got to be ready to go.
What do you grade the line? I have them at a C+. Give them a grade.
I think it's much better than it is last year. I'll go. I'm thinking this group is probably going to surprise the people, and the only reason I say that is the way that Mike McDaniel's offense is. I think that Tua, with the weapons he has, I think he'll be able to get the ball out quicker. And like you said, the tight end, the big question mark in the room is the offensive line. So C plus B minus, somewhere in there. I think.
Okay, all right. I figured. So honestly, I thought you would say B because
Yeah,
you're a nice guy.
yeah,
I thought you would say B because you're a nice guy. I mean, Armstead, Liam, Connor, Hunt, Jackson, then Dieter, Jones, and Little are the guys on the bench. I will tell you this:
yeah,
in the offseason,
yeah.
barring any catastrophic injury to one of the offensive stars,
Right.
the entire next offseason is all offensive line. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Well,
I guarantee it. All the money, free agency, the draft, it's all going to be in next year's draft. That first round pick, if Tua ends up being the guy, we go 11-6, win a playoff game, or go 12-5, and say you lose the playoff game. Okay, fine. But 11-6 in a playoff win and 12-5 in a playoff first loss, to me, is almost even. That's about the same. You know what I'm saying? So then you go, okay, we got our quarterback, we got our weapons, but we probably lost one of those games on the line. So let's go address. And I guarantee you that first round draft pick, we don't have to go get Bryce. We don't have to go get Spencer. We don't have to go get DJ. It's like, no. Where's that best tackle in college right now? Where's that?
Do we have a first round pick this year? Or
Say it again?
Do we have a first round pick this year?
Yeah, we had 2. We lost 1.
Oh, okay.
We still have one, brother. We still got one. So,
okay.
Yeah, you could grab you a tackle. You can grab you a dominant tackle at 18, 19, 17, 21. It's been done before. It ain't got to be 1, 2, or 3.
And you know what, BJ? I told somebody this the other day. I still believe that they're watching the waiver wire. That in the event that they need to pick up somebody before, I could still see that happen. So
plenty of time.
If you're thinking it's etched in stone or guys, when you playing, you got to always remember that. I remember when Jimmy Johnson was there, we was always bringing in guys at different, just work them out. Not necessarily signing them, but just to saying, okay, in the event we need to bring this guy in, they will bring him in. So, don't just get comfortable. If they saying that's the spot that they need to address, I can see they possibly bringing somebody in too. So we'll just have to wait and see.
And I agree with that too. Another thing that I think Miami's been very lucky with this offseason is, we didn't have any injuries in the offseason. We didn't have any main guy go down. I know Nick Needham had a finger thing, and I saw Dolphin Twitter blow up, and I'm like, guys, it's a finger. He's fine. He's tough. He could play. It's a finger, guys. Yeah. He's tough. He could play. So only 5 guys on IR to start the year. Only 1 on offense. So. Yeah. McDaniel has everything that he wanted and knew that he was going to have for the season. He's got it at his disposal somewhere. He's sitting in his office today. He's got a full board of players to load up for New England on September 11th and start the season, man. I grade the quarterback. We'll just go through offensive grades just real quick. The quarterbacks I gave a B. I don't know if Tua's the guy. I hope he is. I thought they would cut Teddy B and save that cap money. And honestly, and bring another guy in because I think they believe Skyler could be Tua's replacement if Tua's not the guy. And what we saw, and like you said, I'm right with you. I believe in preseason, but I don't believe in preseason. I watch preseason, but I don't watch preseason. I'm a football psychotic. You know that. I literally fall asleep on the bed on my laptop with the NFL Network, just replays all the preseason games. Yeah. Dude, I fall asleep to it, and I wake up to it, and I'll be like, oh, this is the Tennessee game from the other night? Oh, yeah, I saw a little bit of that already. I watch it because you do see some guys that get cut, and Sony Michel gets cut, right? And everybody acted up. I said, bro, he won't make it through. Trust me. Somebody needs, and he's right back in, and he's right back in LA with the Chargers. Yep. He's right back here where he was with the Rams. So I feel you. I love that they're out there looking at people. But I thought Teddy, I maybe you want a veteran backup, Richmond. I guess that's the reason he's there, but we can love our black quarterback, but at some point we have to be professionals in this industry and go, okay, I understand the injury in Minnesota, but bro, that's like 5 years ago. And we've seen you on the field and you're just not that guy, man. You're a backup. So I thought they would probably release him and then maybe bring somebody else in. Running backs I gave a B+, Chase, Raheem, Miles, and Amount. I was surprised Miles got cut. I was surprised they kept him. I thought they were going to keep I thought they would keep Michelle, and they were going to cut either Miles or Ahmed.
Yeah, it was tough, and that's what, when I started looking at the wide receiver room, if you were a guy that was last year that showed some, some upside or whatever, it's a possibility that you wouldn't make the team this year because it was just so heavily. The depth was amazing, and like we traded Parker, I knew either he would be there or they would move off of him.
Yeah.
And with the guys they had in there, and they said we can afford to move off of him. And he's had some injury issues throughout the years, this and that. And I think teams look at that and say, okay, let's get off of him and possibly give him a new start somewhere else, because he still's got football in him. But then, those are the type of tough things you got to do as a GM, and look at guys and take the emotion out of it and say, hey, this is a business. We got to run it like a business. And I think that's the thing that they did. But yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, Parker, listen, you and I, you've been graceful enough to do my show for the last 2 years now. And I think the first time we met and talked, that's why I say he's gone next year. There's just no, to me, man, you're a former pro athlete. You know this. Hamstring, quad, groin. Bro, you're not drinking water and stretching. Okay. That's just the human body. I was a personal trainer. I sold personal trainer. I worked in the fitness industry. That's stretching and not enough water. And if you won't do that, how can I really trust you to be my real number one? The year they gave him the bread, they had to. There was nobody else to give the money to. So you think, okay, if there's a guy we got to kind of believe in, we got to believe in Devontae. He is a former top 8 pick overall. So we got to kind of, believe in him. So when they gave him the money, he kind of had to. But I think with them only keeping 5 wide receivers, they kept 5 tight ends, but then they also kept that extra running back. And I think this is just McDaniel. The running backs are receivers in this offense. They're not just line up. They're receivers. And I think Mostert's the starter. He's the. I know people want Chase to be the starter, but I would start Mostert because you can use him more, and then Chase just comes in and pounds you. I guess they want to pound first and then get shifty, but I would want to get shifty with all that other speed on the field. Just put them all out there together, and then change the pace. Bring in Edmonds and let Chase pound you after you got to chase these guys around in the South Florida heat in September and October. We're used to it. You're not. And now we're going to pound you in the third and fourth quarters. You're already tired. Game over. I remember when Jimmy first got to Miami, that's how he wanted to run it. But when Weinstedt was there, you remember, that's how we did it with Ricky. We had some speed with Chambers. They brought in David Boston. I wasn't too big on that one. But Greg Jennings one year, and they had some fast guys. And I forget the tight end that I fell on. Fasano was there with the Wildcat, and we had Ronnie Brown. But then they would still bring in Ricky and still pound you after Ricky came back from the suspension when Sperano was there. So that was their offense then, and I think that would be useful now. Receivers, I love them, man. Hill, I gave him an A+. Hill, the Penguins, said Sherfield, and I want to make sure I get this last. I want to make sure I say it right. As a comma, did I say that right? As a comma, the kid from Texas Tech.
I'm wrestle with that one now. That's close. That's what he just said. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I like that kid, man. He's big and physical. Yeah. And I think also in the offseason, we focus on offensive line, but I believe McDaniel would want to add one more receiver to this group. But what do you feel about the receivers and tight ends? I'll let you go.
Yeah, A+, and like you said, the thing that surprised me is he kept an actual fullback on with the running back group, because that almost a forgotten position. Normally they use a tight end for that. And we're having 5 receivers right now. The only other thing I thought possibly was, a lot of times last year we would use Gesicki, spread him out wide. So he's probably kind of a tweener that at times when you need that 4 wide or whatever, you can use him in certain, positions, maybe in the slot or something, because, where you can put him outside with him being such a big target and stuff like that. But you
think we keep him past this season?
No, that I do not know.
Yeah, right. That's a good one, right?
the young tight end right behind him, he showed
Durham Smythe.
Yep, he had a good offseason. So when you do that, it makes it a little easier to say, we're getting about the same production for a lot less, and we can move off of him. So yeah, this year I believe he's there. Next year, unless he just really rips it up, which I think. Not saying he can't, but I think if this offense goes away, it's going to be a lot of people eating in this offense with Waddle, Tyree. You can spread it around, and it could be nasty, bro. That's.
How excited are you, Rich? Honestly, listen, I've not been this excited.
Yeah.
Since we traded for Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
It's been a while, man. But honestly, how excited are you about this year?
Yeah, you might have been a senior in high school when that happened. So yeah, it's been a minute, bro. Yeah, you've been out of high school a couple years, but it's been a minute. Yeah,
Yeah, I was out of high school a couple years, but I would. But I remember one of my best friends calling my cell phone.
yeah.
I was working at Athlete's Foot, which is now known as Champs. I was selling sneakers. I
I
was
remember
young.
Athlete's
Oh,
Foot.
yeah. You remember? Okay, yeah, I was working at an Athlete's Foot. I was assistant manager, and I remember I didn't even have no whip then, man. I was a broke young dude. I was on a bus. I was coming home, and my phone kept buzzing. Bzz, bzz. I reached out, and it's like, "Yo, call me." And I called my boy, and I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "Yo, you excited?" I'm like, "About what, man? I just got out of work. I'm on my way home." He's like, "Oh, you didn't see y'all got Ricky?" I said, "Ricky who?" I said, "The Dolphins traded for Ricky Williams." I was like, "Bro, oh my God." Because I was a big fan of his when he was in college. When he's in college, man.
He was a beast in Texas.
Oh my God, he was so. But yeah, you're excited. My excitement level is there. Can you remember the last time you were excited? Other than like this year, like you feel this year.
I think I was excited back. I had just left, but even watching because all my teammates were still there. I was in Cincinnati, but I think 1 year he ran for like 1,800. I mean, it was just special.
Yep.
The things he was doing, and then when Sperano was there, when he came out the Wildcat offense, that caught me off guard, and that was kind of exciting. And then it's been like a play here and there, but as far as the season, it's been a minute because I think the thing that really hurts, and I told somebody that the Patriots was so dominant for so long, and everybody else in the AFC East, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets was just it wasn't that. But now you got the Bills, the Dolphins are making that turnaround. I think it's going to be between Buffalo and Miami. To be honest, I still think New England will be competitive, but I think it's going to be between the Dolphins and the Bills. That's where the real showdown is, in my opinion.
And we got them. I got the schedule right here in front of me. Here, let's jump to that real quick. We can just jump around the Dolphins, and I'll throw some other NFL questions at you. I promise I have you done by 1 my time, so you will be done by 1 my time. So we've got about 23 minutes left here. New England, Baltimore, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and them bum ass Jets. Yes, they're the bum ass Jets. I'm always calling them the bum ass Jets. They're the bum ass Jets. That's just what they are. That's what they're gonna be. I look at that schedule and I go, man, this could go one of 3 ways. It can go really good.
Yeah.
It can go so-so, or it can go really bad. It's like it can, because the last 2 years, all I've seen is us start 0-8 and 0-7.
Yeah.
And I know it's a new coaching regime, and I know it's new players in, but as a realistic person, man, I gotta see it. Because what I saw last,
that's
so and I think New England's a win. Let's go game for game. At home, New England were favored in that game, I believe, by 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We win?
We win that one.
We cover?
It's tough. It's harder to pick and cover, but I think we win.
All right. I'm gonna say we cover. I think New England. Belichick has never had a reset year in his career since he's been in New England. He's never had to reset. When you got Thomas, you always can just kind of reload and just pick different. McDaniels ran the offense. Bill knows football. Kraft would cut any check, so it's like, okay, we need Randy Moss. Hey, this Wes Welker guy, trust me, let's get him. We will. This Danny Amendola guy, trust me, let's get him. This Julian Edelman guy, let's draft him. Let's keep him. They find a way to bring in these tight ends. They find a way to bring in running backs. Like, remember when Corey Dillon was supposedly done? Remember that? And he just goes to New England, goes for 1,500 yards back-to-back years, like 13, 14 touchdowns back-to-back. It's like, no, he's not done. He was just sick of Cincinnati. He wasn't done. Randy Moss walked off the field with the Raiders against Washington. Yeah. And people thought, oh, this guy's loco. This guy's done. Gets traded. All he does is go and catches 25 touchdown passes. Yeah. Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I say all that to say I think this year he has to reset, especially with the injuries. And I don't care what the media tries to do. We already know what they're going to do with the quarterback position by your pigmentation. Mac Jones is not the guy. People can talk all that all y'all want to. Tannenbaum, former RGM that screwed us up, he has the ability to be in the MVP conversation this year. Dude, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, he sat on television and said that. So when you say competitive, Yeah, because they're a Bill Belichick team and he won't allow his guys to mail it in. But
Yeah.
that don't mean you won't get your ass kicked 10 or 11 Sundays this year. That don't mean just because you're competitive, don't mean you won't get your ass handed to you at least 11 Sundays this year. And I think they look 7-10 to me. And Matt, he's just McDaniels is gone. That's a big part of the quarterback position.
When you lose that, yeah.
Exactly. And you don't even know Matt Patricia, backwards hat pencil guy, who had to be told how to dress when he got the head coach's job with the Lions. So they had to pull him aside and say, listen, you're not a coordinator. And we just hired you as our head coach. Take the damn pencil out your hair. Wash your hair. All right. Get it out of like seriously, man. So the competitive, I'll say, okay, I agree with you, but not competitive to where they push for a playoff spot. I think they're eliminated by like week, I don't know, maybe week 12, week 13. They're out of it. At Baltimore, week 2, this one worries me, but I still put a W because I think we have better Jimmys and Joes than they do.
Yeah. The thing I think that you got in that game that concerns me, and I think we have the defense to do it, is Lamar Jackson is from South Florida. He probably, and I'm not saying for sure, but being from South Florida, he probably grew up a Dolphin fan. So a lot of times when you go back and play against your childhood team or whoever you looked up with, this and that, you want to shine. All your boys back at the crib, this and that. So I know you want to have a good game because when you come home, the boys in South Florida, they're gonna give it to you. If you showed up good, but if you was trash, they're gonna let you have it. So I think if we keep him contained, I think we should be able to win that game. Yeah.
Okay, I think so too. I think J.K. Dobbins, who I really like a lot, and I thought hurt him getting hurt last year. It hurt them big time. They were down to their fourth quarterback. Lamar's so damn good. In the first week of November, they were down to their fourth quarterback. They had 18 players on IR, which is an NFL record at that point in time. That's done for the year. They can't come back. They won't be back probably for even minicamp or OTAs. And he had them in the number 1 seed in the AFC that everybody loves and says is so loaded. Yeah. But all off season, all I heard was, what about Lamar? What about Lamar? What about Lamar? It's like, do you guys understand what it's like to play on a bum ankle at the quarterback position where you don't have no receivers? You have a fourth round. You have your fourth running back on the depth chart. They had to call him from selling insurance to come play. Like, do you guys not understand how hard that is? And to still have your team above Tennessee, above Kansas City, above Cincinnati, above the Chargers, above all these teams everybody loves, the Bills, all these teams everybody loves. Bro, he had them. So anytime you face Lamar, and when we got him last year on Thursday Night Football, we got him when they were banged up, and we got him where it was just all of him. And like you said, our defense we blitzed the edges, we blitzed the middle, we just blitzed them, and we ate them up. So, but at Baltimore early, they don't have all their weapons back. They don't have a receiver I totally believe in. I think our corners can hold them down. So, home against Buffalo, it's easy for me to go, oh, this is a win. But I remember what the last 2 home Buffalo games looked like. I got W/L because I waited to talk to you to pick whether we win or lose.
The thing that's one of those games that the only thing I'm looking at with Buffalo is they have weapons as well, so it could be a high scoring game. The thing that sometimes plays in is if it's a good, hot, humid day, that definitely plays in favor of the Dolphins. But Josh Allen is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, and he's continued to make that step. The only thing that I question about Buffalo is his offensive coordinator is the head coach with the New York Giants now. So
yes,
who's ever, a lot of times you can run the same offense. It's just like playing chess. You might be a champion chess player, and I know what you do, but when I come down, sit down and play, I say, okay, this is what VJ does, this and that. I might know everything you do, but if I don't know how to do it or to set up things in order to win, I think that's the thing that's the question mark for me. So, but the road still goes through Buffalo. So,
yeah,
that's going to be a tough one. That's a pick 'em. That's a pick 'em for me.
You know what? Just to be a fair analyst, I'm gonna say we not ready at that point, and we drop that game. Okay. There's going to be a point in this year where we're all going to question Tua. The media is going to question McDaniel. It just happens. It's not going to be all glorious all year long. But I think McDaniel, he's either going to be a home run or it's going to be a complete disaster. There's going to be no middle road with this. Following week on the road at Cincinnati, I think this is a win for us only because I'm not sure if I believe in them. I know they went to the Super Bowl last year. Like, I know that. But I also know their offensive line was horrible. And I know with the weapons they have, we have the defense to match it. And I don't think that their defense is blowing anybody's doors off. And we're bringing in all that speed and our size, too. I mean, hey, maybe we're 3-0 going into this game, feeling good after beating Buffalo. That might let for a letdown on the road. But I think losing to Buffalo refocuses us. We go up to Cincinnati, we get a dub, and we're 3-1 at this point.
I can take 3-1, and like you said, I think we match up well. I think the thing with Cincinnati was Burrow and Jamar Chase they had that rhythm from even when they were in college. But I think later on, second half of the season, they got in a rhythm and they won some games that possibly could have went the other way, and even was the AFC Championship game when they played Kansas City, and instead of kicking a field goal, I think Kansas City went for it on like 4th and 1 with a few seconds and didn't get the touchdown. And I thought that was a huge momentum swing for the Bengals, and they end up winning that game and going to the Super Bowl. So I do know that game is a night game, and I do know they're inducting Willie Anderson, which I played with in Cincinnati, right tackle. He's going into the Ring of Honor, and I think somebody else. So it'll be loud, hostile, but if we can get everything going this and that, hopefully we can settle down. But I do believe we can go on the road and win that game.
Yeah, I do. And listen, even with the Buffalo games, if we went 0-2 against Buffalo, this would be the year I would go, all right, man, Buffalo fans can talk trash, Bills Mafia, whatever. But you guys are picked to win it all. So we're not even picked to beat you. So y'all beating us is doing what you were supposed to do. Vegas has you. DraftKings has you. Caesar's Palace has you. Bally's Book has you. Everybody has you guys winning the Super Bowl and Josh Allen winning the MVP. There's no pressure on us. The pressure's on you to come to South Florida in week 3 and beat us. The pressure's on you to hold it down at the end of the year and beat us up in Orchard Park. The pressure's not on us. So, I mean, you do.
That's a lot of pressure to put on a team before, because now you're target on everybody's schedule. That, you know, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not only that, and me being in sports betting now, man, with Husky Bets, my sports betting company, this just has the feel of Vegas wanting to sucker so many people in. They're putting everything on Buffalo, and it is essentially off of a divisional round loss, where in all honesty, this defense that's so great gave up 41 points. You gave the game away really in the last 30-something set. You just made brain farts as players and coaches. The short pass to Tariq where you let him run like 55, 60 yards. The crossing route he catches where 2 safeties, 1 and all pro, takes a horrible angle with the game on the line. And then you guys decide to guard Travis Kelce with a linebacker with the game on the line inside the 5-yard line. Those are, and I'm a radio guy telling you, those are just dumb coaching and fundamental football mistakes. With the game on the line, on the road, to beat who we are holding up as like the next dynasty, possibly franchise in the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, Kelce, Cheetah. Like this is a chance to knock them off, and you make those type of mistakes. I was on Fox Sports Radio with Steve Hartman on Saturday, and we talked about that. And he goes, dude, it's all off of that one game. That one game was a loss, though, and it wasn't even a conference championship. Yeah. So my betting mind goes, man, Vegas is pulling y'all in, because I still don't think they're better than KC. And we always know there's going to be another AFC team. Last year it was the Bengals. Yeah. People were talking Broncos. People love what the Chargers have done. So Buffalo, this run away with, and they were 11-6 last year. Richmond, people talking like they were like 15 or like had 16 wins, 16-1, 15-2, even 14-3. No, y'all were 11-6. Y'all only won the division by 2 games, and Miami pissed their pants in 2 games, and we didn't get a pass interference call on Will Fuller against the Raiders So there was games that and this Buffalo love. It feels like all Vegas. After that, Vikings at home. I think that's a dub. I think the next 3 are dubs. Vikings at home, Steelers at home, at the Lions, at the Bears, and then home against the Browns and the Texans. I think Miami, and I'll let you just run through those, but that run right there, if we could just get through the first 4.
Yeah.
3-1, even 2-2. Miami looks like they can go on a run. And as I mentioned, we've seen 0-8 and we've seen 0-7. But both years, we then saw 8 wins in a row and 9 wins in a row, I believe. So we've seen both streaks. But if we can start, man, this run of teams, as I mentioned, Vikings, Steelers, Lions, Bears, Browns, Texans, I thought I just counted 6 straight wins.
Yeah, and it's possible. And even with last year, and I told a couple people, if you go back to the Atlanta game, if you go back to the Jacksonville game, those games were lost in the last few seconds by a field goal. So those are, if you get one of those, we're in the playoffs.
Yep.
You get both of them, it changes your whole narrative on the team.
Atlanta game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like almost like back-to-back weeks, I think, or maybe it was a game in between.
No, you're right. No, it's back-to-back weeks. We gave up last-second field goals to lose 2 back-to-back games.
I think this year, I don't think it's going to be the slow start. I think it's definitely going to surprise some people. I think our offense will be much more productive, which will take pressure off our defense, and we should be able to score more points. So, but even if you, like you said, 6-0, if you go 5-1 at this point, you got what's that, like 8-2, because you went 3-1 on the first.
Exactly. Yeah.
You do that, everybody ought to be happy as hell. I mean, it's what you complaining about? You 8-2. You one of the top teams in the AFC at that point. So
think about in the first 5 weeks, if we go 3-2, okay, say we lose Baltimore and Buffalo, because they should be good teams. So just being real, okay. But we're beating New England. We're beating Cincinnati and the Jets. Yep. So you're 3-2. Even if the Cincinnati game's lost, okay, you're 2-3. All right, fine. But I'm 2-3. But after that, I'm going through a run as I just reeled off. We're beating the Jets. There's 3 wins. The Vikings 4, Steelers 5, Lions 6, Bears 7, Browns 8, Texans 9. So now I'm 9-3.
Yeah.
I'm 9-3 with 5 to go. Now these last 5. Niners, Chargers, Bills, Packers, Patriots, Jets. The Patriots and the Jets, one's up in New England, and I love that we get the bum ass Jets at home on New Year's Day. I'm just salivating that game. Like, I got some memories from New Year's Day or December 29th, December 30th games against the Jets in my lifetime. A bunch you yourself played in. But when I look and I see people, like I saw a Bleacher Report has Miami at 6-11. I'm like, what? Who are we? Who are we losing 11 games? Like, who are we losing 11 games to? So, break it down for me.
Well, first of all, you let me know if it's a bet in Vegas where Dolphins are 6-11 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's,
no.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. Vegas over under for the Dolphins is 9 wins.
Okay.
Oh yeah. They're because last year 9-8, year before that 10-7.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even in like you said, we got Green Bay, the Jets. Who's the other 3?
To finish off the year is Packers, Patriots, and Jets. But that after we come through that week schedule, it's at the Niners, which is us going, which is our coach going back home. Yeah. At the Niners, at the Chargers, at the Bills. So it's 3 straight road games right there in the middle, coming down the home stretch before the Packers, Patriots, and Jets. But those 3, I look at it and go, okay, there could be some stumbles, but we're also talking that's December 4th. We don't know where these teams are going to be December 4th. So, but if everybody is where they're expected to be, I'll be at the December 11th game against the Chargers out here in LA. I want to try to do double duty and get up to San Fran, take a short flight up there for the game the Sunday before that. But that run right there, Niners, Chargers, Bills, and Packers. And it could be tough. It's a 4-game stretch there. Back-to-back West Coast trips. Now, I don't know why the NFL decided to do that to us late in the year. Maybe they feel like they gave us our bye early, so we should be blessed. Our bye later than early. Normally, they've been giving it to us kind of early, so we got it later in the year this year. But, I like 11-6. I would love to see 12-5 because, to me, 12-5 means that Bills game is super important on December 18th. And so is that Patriots-Jet game to end the year because it could be a tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker is always head-to-head. If we split, then it goes to division record.
Right. The thing that I want to see is in those last 5, if we can go 3-2,
Okay.
like you say, back to back West Coast.
Yeah.
And now a lot of teams, what they do, if they got back to back, they'll fly and they'll just stay out there.
Yeah, they stay. Might as well. It's the same state.
Might well stay the same. Just stay out there and work out there, and then play both games. And so you split one of those there. I think the thing that's really important is you want to be playing your best football in December, January. So as long as we kind of hit that rhythm where we're going and things are happening, I'll feel good. But the way the NFL is, if you expect them to go undefeated, it's almost unrealistic. So are you an unrealistic fan? If they did it, would I be happy? Of course, but you got to take into, you're going to have possibly some injuries. They're going to have injuries. And like you said, you look at it on paper now, well, by December, I'm sure some things will be different. But as long as you're pretty much healthy and got the same team, if they can come out of that 5-3-2, I think we're good. And we should be somewhere around 12-5, 11-6.
Yeah.
I think that's realistic. And I've told people that 12-5, 11-6, 5-6, 12-5 would be outstanding. I think that really puts us in a strong position. And that's what I'm shooting for. So long as barring just crazy injuries or whatever, anything like that, that's possible. But if we had 11-6, I wouldn't be upset.
I wouldn't be upset at 11-6, but then 11-6 probably means we're in a wild card game, and then we're probably like at Cincinnati.
Yeah,
it could be a West Coast trip out here, depending upon, because people think 3 teams. I don't think 3 from the AFC West get in. I know that's the popular thing to say on TV and radio all summer long. I just don't see it happening. Somebody's going to fall off. One of the other teams I picked to just fall off this year, I think the Dallas Cowboys. I said this on air. I put it out there. They're my pick of a team that people think will be good. I don't think they make the playoffs. They just have too many question marks, too many injuries, trying to come back from trading Amari Cooper, where I'm trying to figure out, how's this guy just crap now? Like, Amari Cooper is still a stud. A guy in football, you know this as well as I do. Football 101, in the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. Stop the run the ball, rush the passer, protect the quarterback. It starts there. But you got to have a guy out there. You got to have a dude out there. If you don't, your chances are slim to really move the ball. Flip the college the other night. Notre Dame should have beat the fuck guys. They should have. But you know why they did it? They didn't have a dude to just get the ball to and say, go get me a play. They don't have that guy this year. It's not their defense, but they don't have that. And if you don't have that guy on any level, you don't have a shot. So I look at the West, and I think somebody is going to fall off. Dallas, you lost Cooper. Gallup's out. He's coming back from the ACL. CeeDee Lamb, I mean, all right, I get why people like him, but dropsies, one catch in a home playoff game last year. That's the last thing I saw. A guy that looks like he kind of can lose interest if you're not getting him the ball. Already developing diva kind of like tendencies. Remind me a lot of DK Metcalf as far as just his body language. If he's not getting the ball, he kind of soaking. Guys like T.O. and Moss can get away with it because they were so phenomenal. Neither one of those guys are T.O. and Moss. Not even close. So guys like that can kind of get away with it. But I think Denver's schedule's super tough late in the year, at Tennessee, at Baltimore, at the Rams, at the Colts. The Colts have a great defense. They have the best running back in football, a lot of people think. And I think Matt Ryan's got a chip that says, hey, things fell apart in the Super Bowl. I get it. We had a major hangover, and I get that too. But don't blame me. It wasn't me. I still came out every Sunday and threw to what you put on the field to me and had us in games. And you guys were – defense was losing games with a defensive coach, Dan Quinn, mind you. So – Let's make sure we tell the whole story. And with us being 11-6, it just makes me feel like then that's at the Raiders or at the Chargers or at the Bengals possibly. I think Buffalo or Kansas City will have the bye. So then maybe it's at Buffalo or at Kansas City. Well, at Kansas City would be pretty cool to see Tariq to go back to Kansas City. But 12-5 means we're probably playing a home playoff game. And I feel much better. And you got to come to that heat late in the year where it's still hot in January and you're not used to it. And, so 11-6 is cool, man. But I'm gonna be harsh this year, Richmond. I'm gonna
You
be harsh, bro. I need 12-5.
You understand your chances go up of winning a playoff game playing at home versus playing on the road. And, you brought up great points about even like Amari Cooper, like you said, especially in clutch games or when you need that big catch, you need a Cooper, you need a Stephon Diggs, Hopkins. That's why I couldn't believe the Texans traded him away. Adams, like in Green Bay, it's just certain guys that
He gonna light Vegas up, man. I like the plus 650. No one agrees with me, and I get it, but I like the Raiders to win the AFC West. I think a star receiver like that means that much already to a 4,600-yard quarterback, a running back that's been put on notice by drafting White out of Georgia. Jacobs has been put on notice. Listen, McDaniel, he's got it this time around. We know he made a bunch of mistakes his first time, because that's what you do. When I first started radio, I was at a local network and I made a bunch of mistakes, but I learned. And when you learn, you move up to the bigger platforms. Now I'm on iHeartRadio. Now I'm on Fox Sports Radio. Because I learned from those mistakes, and I had to go back to Veejay'S Unsportsmanlike Conduct and rebuild myself. Coaches the same way. You see, they cut Alex Leatherwood like it was, and he's a first round from last year. But McDaniels, he's got that kind of Belichick. Listen, the guy ain't got it. He's gone. We're not waiting. We're not building him. Can you play now or not? We got Devontae. We got Renfro. We got and then we have Vegas, and we're the Raiders. And this division's tough. I need guys now. So when they cut him, it was like, wow. Okay. I think Kansas City, they're still good. Mahomes is still great, but I think people are going to see how great Tyreek Hill really is.
It makes
really is. So you lose that, and like I said, I just don't believe in it. And I think the Chargers will be really good. I think the division is the Raiders or the Chargers. I don't think the Chiefs or the Broncos win that division. This year. Yeah, man. I got some wild picks this year, bro. I do.
That's a tough division to be in right now. You're right. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with the quarterback that's got the best receiver. I don't think Carr's the best quarterback, but he throws to the best receiver in that conference. Yeah. I'll go with that combo. Other than you got Russell Wilson, but he's throwing to Judy and Sutton, and we don't really know what neither one of those guys. Sutton's hurt, Judy's hurt, right? KJ Hamler from Penn State, he got hurt. Like these guys can't even stay on the field. All right, Kansas City, what you're gonna tell me that Harmon is gonna replace Valdez-Scantlin's going to replace Tariq? Oh, if that's what you want to say. And then the Chargers, I like Keenan Allen, I like Mike Williams, but they're not Devontae Adams.
Right.
So, I still go with the best receiver in that conference, man. Any surprises you see out there, a team that no one's talking about that you just kind of look at and go, hey, y'all better watch this team. I like what they're doing.
I mainly pay attention to the Dolphins, but since I live here in Houston, I'm going to say the Texans, not this year, but I like Lovie Smith as a head coach. So, not this year. But
you like Davis Mills? I'm hearing little rumblings about him, and I'm not bought in yet, but I'm hearing rumblings.
I think it's going to be the way he's building it. I think they're going to eventually, the defense is going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
They're trying to surround Davis Mills, but he going to need that receiver like an Adams or Hopkins. I hadn't watched Davis Mills honest enough to do that, but I like they got the running back out of Florida. They did a good draft.
Yeah,
offensive lineman Green out of A&M. They got the.
I know you know that one.
And I got rep.
I know. Hey, listen. Every time when I was watching the other day, you're the first. You and Dat Win are the first two people that pop in my mind.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm watching A&M.
Yeah. So that not this year, but the following year. I think they're gonna make improvements this year, but I don't think they're gonna make no noise. But the following year, if Lovey keeps his hand on and they might do something. So that's
last thing before I let you out of here, man. Just one big college question for you: 12-team college football playoff could be as soon as 2024. I don't want to wait that long. I definitely don't want to wait till 2026. They need to figure that out, which they can do. Get it done. We need this next year. Your thoughts?
I always knew it was going to head to this, especially when NIL money came into it. And the way I looked at it was, it's good the kids are getting the money, but with NIL, certain kids gonna get the money, certain are not. But it's just putting a lot more wear and tear on your body before you make it to the next level. So it's a plus, but it's a minus. But I think we'll see it definitely in 2024. I think they're gonna make it happen much quicker than what we expect. So I think that, and then the other shocking thing was like USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten.
Yes.
I think SEC got Texas and Oklahoma, but I think they're looking to add a couple other teams. So it's going to be mega conferences. I don't know how they're going to figure out the rankings and stuff, but 12 teams. If you don't make the 12, I don't want to hear nothing about we should have been there, this and that. If you can't make it in, 12, bro, stop and just get better. That's the way.
And not only that, what I love most about it is it's something I think they should add. Yeah. Take away the AP preseason, take away the AP coaches, take it away until week 8. And then in week 8, put out 3 polls: AP, coaches, college football playoff, and start there, because we've had 8 weeks.
Yeah.
If we know who the 12 best teams are, or at least the top 16, because you still got games to play. But we know who you are by Halloween, bro. We know who it is by Halloween. Like, Oregon got wiped, okay? I picked them to get wiped. The spread was low for me. When I saw 16.5, yeah, give me 50 on that. Give me 50 on that to cover. Georgia's going to blow them off the – Can they recover? Yeah, but when you're watching no football, they have holes. And you don't fill them in because of who you were playing against. The holes were just exploited bigger because who you were playing against. They got guys that exploit. Utah's going to exploit their holes. SC's going to exploit their holes. There's some other team. Washington's going to exploit their holes. But just Georgia has the horses that can make them look real obvious. Yeah. And they made them look real obvious. So by week 8, week 9, we know who the top 16 teams are. The reason why I say take those polls away, because it misconstrues and gives teams opportunities to hang around in the top. Like, if you rank a team top 3 and they hang around in the top 12 all year long, kind of moving, and they end up with 2 losses, but they end up kind of 12, 13, but you've watched them play, you're like, dude, that's not one of the best. That team you got ranked number 20, that's 11-1, move them up, man. They're a better football team. So I hope we don't run into that, man. But listen, brother, you already know it's mad love, man. It's mad love. I'm excited. Thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you so much over here in the Husky house, man. And enjoy the season, big dog. I told you I'd get you out of here at 1. It's 107, man. So I had to throw that college football question in there for you, man. But I appreciate you, Richmond.
I appreciate you, and definitely look forward to it. And man, 12-5 sounds good. So I'm hoping.
Okay. Let's go 12-5. Let's put it out there right now.
Put it out there. I ain't scared. Yeah.
I mean it. I never, like bone crushing. I ain't never scared. You remember that joint? I ain't never scared. Yeah, that was the hype. That was the hyphy era now, man.
That's it.
Now they pop locking in slow motion all over again. I don't know what's up with these kids, man. Richmond Webb, 9-time All-Pro, former Miami Dolphin, man, former Texas A&M Aggie. And real talk, get this man and Zach Thomas into the hall. Y'all stop effing around. For real. Get this gentleman right here, Keith Sims and Zach Thomas, into the Hall of Fame. Stop playing with us. We kind of starting to get pissed about it, especially you and Zach. Starting to kind of get pissed about it. So let's make it happen, man. God bless, man. Listen, enjoy the rest of your holiday, and I'll holler at you throughout the season. Thanks a lot, Richmond.
All right, VJ.
Awesome, man. Great stuff, man. Richmond Webb here, man. Thanks, everybody, tuning in to Veejay'S on Sportsmanlike Conduct. We are back this season, man, having so much fun. It's all football. It's all football. I don't want to talk NBA. I don't care about LeBron. I don't really care about Kyrie, KD, AD, PhD, ADHD. I don't care about no alphabets right now. The only alphabets I care about are HSFB, high school football, NCAAFB, NCAA football, and NFL, National Football League. That's all I care about. FF2, fantasy football. 25 leagues this year, man. And my last draft is actually tomorrow night, 7 p.m., the Big Vanilla Fantasy Football League. So crazy. And so hyped about that, man. So anyway, that was Richmond Webb, former Miami Dolphin, 9-time All-Pro left tackle, drafted by Don Shula. He has one of the really coolest conversations or stories to tell about when Don Shula called and told him he was going to be drafted. that he's told on the show here before. Now, let's move a little bit to college football, guys. Huge weekend in college football this weekend. And this is what I took from this weekend. I was doing the show with Steve Hartman over at Fox Sports Radio, and I told Steve, the one thing that I need to see from the teams that are supposed to be the powers, the teams that are supposed to be the powers, like you were picked to have a Heisman, you were picked to go to the national championship, win your conference. I need to see certain things from the powers. And it normally holds true to form as the year goes on. I need to see you block well, protect well, tackle well. Your stars have to be stars. And when you have the ability to scrape a team ass off the field, you expeditiously scrape their ass off the field, period. I'm watching the Georgia game over at Fox Sports Radio Saturday on the screen like, this is a wrap. 21-0. I looked at Steve Hartman and said, this game's done. This game's over. This ain't even going to be close today. They're going to scrape them off the field, as they should. Alabama, SC, Michigan, when you have the ability to put up a 50 burger and put up a 60 burger, the Miami Hurricanes, Mario Cristobal back, 70. It's 10 touchdowns. You put it up. Sorry, Bethune-Cookman. This ain't a friendship. This ain't feelings. This is football. And that's what I want to see out of week one. And that's what I saw out of week one from the powers. This is not an Ohio hater thing because I'm a great Michigan guy and we are the defending Big Ten champions. Defending. Ohio State has not beaten us in over 900 days. Okay? That just is the facts. It is what it is. They have not beaten us in over 900 days. Okay? It is what it is. But, with that being said, they have holes. Jackson and Jigba Smith, Smith and Jigba Smith, I forget which way it goes. Jackson. I actually liked that they put the X in his name too. I thought that was pretty cool. I saw that. I said, all right, his parents is cool. They got an X there with Jackson instead of Jackson. No, Jackson with the XON. I like it. Good receiver too. Really good receiver. Olave, Garrett Wilson, those guys good receivers. Sorry, Garrett Wilson, you went to the bum-ass Jets. Have fun. Chris Olave, you got lucky. You went to famous Jameis, a.k.a. my homeboy Crab Legs, down in New Orleans. New Orleans could be a team, guys. New Orleans and the Vikings are the two teams that I'm looking at this year. Watch them. The Dallas Cowboys are my NFL team. Woo. Telling you guys know I do this, man. It's not a fluke. But I look at Ohio State, you have holes. Jackson went off the field. They like they couldn't throw the ball. They like they couldn't move. Yeah, but we have the number one recruit receiver from last year, the 2020 class or the 2019 class. Okay, that's fine. That's great. But we all know all that doesn't always work out. It doesn't always work out. It never has always worked out and never will. And I'm not saying that he's not the guy, but he might not be the guy. They didn't look like the guy. Come on, Notre Dame isn't putting out first-round corners. They don't have Joey Porter Jr. like Penn State does. Did you watch that kid, Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State? Wow. 6'1.5", 6'2", 215, 220, corner, 225, I think it is, corner. Shut those guys down. Yeah, Purdue got some stuff going. Who won the game, though? Who made the plays? Who recovered the fumble? Who had the pass breakups when it mattered most? Stars be stars. Bryce Young, stars be stars. You got to be a star, man, when it's time for you to be a star early in college football. You have to scrape the guys that you're supposed to scrape early in the season in college football. You ain't no playing around. I said on Saturday, we're going to see exactly what Utah is because I don't believe in them. And I think last year they feasted off of a lowly, and 2019, of a lowly Pac-12. Pac-12 is different now. Lincoln Riley's got things going out here at SC. I know it's just one game, but it looked different. And yesterday, walking around LA, it's 111 degrees in Northridge. It's 109 degrees in Encino, which is 15, 17 minutes, no traffic outside of downtown Los Angeles, right outside of Hollywood and the Hollywood Hills. Yesterday, people were out. A lot of SC T-shirts, a lot of SC hats, a lot of SC. And all I kept doing is looking at people and say, hey, yesterday felt different, didn't it? Oh, yeah. Fight on. Fight on, dude. Yeah, oh, my God. SC football's back. That's how I'm sorry. That's how they talk up here where I am, okay? And then down in the hood, so, hey, homie, SC football back, homie. You see us yesterday, right? You see how we put it on Rice? Did you see how we put it on Rice, cuz? You see how we did that, right, cuz? We put it on rice, cuz. And I don't even eat rice, cuz. I like mashed potatoes, cuz. That's how they say it down in LA. I'm a Crip, cuz. Crip SC, cuz. It felt different. Caleb Williams transferred, WCAC. All y'all out here, I know y'all love the Trinity League, and for everybody that's watching and listening back east, the Trinity League guys boast two superpowers in high school. Mater Dei, who I love, and then Bosco, who I worked for and called games for 2 seasons. DJ Uyungale called his games his junior and senior year. Alani, I forget his last name, running back from Boise State, was also a star there. And they have a linebacker that was there that's now at Penn State, who was also a star there. Jefferson is his last name. But y'all gonna stop playing the WCAC like we ain't got DeMatha, we ain't got Gonzaga. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some studs that come to Chase Young, who's there with the Washington football team, the Redskins, the Commanders. What the hell are they called now? He's out of DeMatha. Caleb Williams, quarterback for SC, went to Oklahoma. He's the reason Spencer Rattler said, well, I can't do this. I'm going to go to South Carolina and get my ass beat like 4 times a year in the SEC. I can't do this here because Caleb Williams came in there like, surprise. Also, quick history bit for you. Saturday was the first time since 1991, 31 years ago, that a black quarterback started for the University of Southern California Trojans. How you like that for a history lesson right there? First time in 31 years. Shout out to that. And they got another one coming too, because Malachi Nelson from Los Alamitos High School out here. I have to say it like that so I don't mess it up. When you got to say, like when you're in SoCal, you if you don't learn Spanish, you better learn how to talk with some type of Latina accent. Y'all notice how I just said Latina and not Latina? See, if you do that, it'll get you by. If you just, throw a little, roll your tongue sometimes, or you do your mouth like this when you say something, and you don't say something, you tell them something. That's not me, baby. Hey, papa. Hey, amigo. Hey, fool. You see how I did all of those? You see how I went through? You got to do that to survive in SoCal sometimes. Hey, papa. Hola, bonita señorita. They love that shit. They love that one. Hola, bonita señoritas. Watch, I'm going to do it again. This is how you do it. You see him walking? Hola, bonita señorita. You got to do that in Los Angeles. You got to do that. But walking around and seeing SC gear, I just kept saying it. And it's methodical. You guys know I play chess, not checkers. Checkers is for kids. Grown men play chess. Matter of fact, I got some chess with friends moves I got to do today. I need to put that on my to-do list. Anyway. You have to just go with the wave of college football. And I said that to talk about the college football playoff. Richmond Webb, former 9-time pro, Miami Dolphin was just on the show. We were talking about that. It's different now. College football is different. College football is moving in a whole nother direction, and I love it. Pay the kids, pay the kids, pay the kids, pay the kids. I'm almost close to saying NIL high school kids. Why not? These are prep. Come on, they're already in college. Prep school. A friend of mine who used to work, I don't know if he's still at NFL Network, but he is the voice of the FIBA International 3-on-3. Shout out to my man, Kyle Montgomery. He's the voice of that league. He's the play-by-play, the main play-by-play guy. His son just got into Bosco. They don't live nowhere near damn Bosco. You make it happen. The school makes it happen. If they think he can help them on the basketball court, they'll get him there. It was the same with DeMatha. It was the same with Riverdale Baptist. It was the same with Bishop McNamara, Bishop O'Connell, Gonzaga. All those WCAC schools, they do the same thing out here in California with the Trinity League. But y'all going to stop playing the WCAC. We right there with Trinity too. They just don't want to rank us high like that. All right, that's cool. We get it because you got to get your Texas schools in there. They got like 7. You got to get your NorCal teams in there. So you got De La Salle. So there's 3. You got Colonial Centennial, who I used to actually live right across the street from Colonial Centennial. You got them. So there's 4, 5 LA and NorCal schools. And then you got 5, 6 Dallas schools, or Texas schools, excuse me. Then you got 3 Florida schools. And you got to get a PA, a Maryland. There's other Bishop Gorman in Vegas. There's your top 25 right there. So Gonzaga, Bishop O'Connell, Bishop McNamara, those schools out there, DeMatha, Gonzaga, they got to fight for it, but y'all not going to sleep. Y'all not going to be tripping and be trying to play the WCAC. Trinity League is good, but the WCAC, DMV in the building, man, we're just as good too. Other things I caught from college football, the new coaches, the new vibes, I'm feeling, man. There was really nothing I saw in college football this weekend that I looked at and rolled my eyes. Nothing. There was nothing I looked at and it was like, oh, God. Oh, my God. Here we go. It was all glorious, man. It was all competitive games. Do you see Florida State LSU last night? Oh, did you see and it started Thursday night with the backyard brawl. Think about how college football in week 1 was booking. We start with Pittsburgh and West Virginia in the backyard brawl. The 10th pick 6 wins the game. They drive all the way down, and they're this close from a touchdown pass late in the game on 4th down. Pittsburgh, that is, West Virginia, that is, to win that game. Also, sporting 2 SoCal former SC quarterbacks. Now, Slovis and JT Daniels. JT Daniels is at Mater Dei. I saw him in high school. Didn't cut it. Oh, he got hurt. That's right. Blew his knee out, got hurt at SC. Transferred again. He was undefeated at Georgia, but I guess he just wants more. They're going with Stenham, the defending national champions, and they probably should. He won them a national championship. And now you got 2 Georgia quarterbacks, former USC quarterbacks at different schools. But the weekend starts there, and then it ends. And it's not over because you have Georgia Tech and Clemson tonight, which I think is closer than people think. I had Florida State winning last night. That was my love for Florida State, but I'm just not going to believe Brian Kelly's going to walk in the door there. They have issues there, too. They don't have their quarterback. He pulls the ball down way too fast. LSU's quarterback, he pulls the ball down way too fast, and he knows he can run, but they don't have a guy other than what is this, like a Boucher? They don't have a guy other than Boucher that can really get open and be a difference maker on the wing. Jason Taylor's son is a 6'5", true freshman tight end there. I expect some big things out of him. He made some big catches last night. But Florida State showing improving right now with that speed. They have the best running back room in the nation. They clearly have the best running back room in the nation. They put 4 guys out there that can run you over, run around you, and run past you and run away from people. Not outrun, run away. There's a difference between outrunning somebody and there's a difference between running away from people. This is outrunning somebody. This is running away from people. They got backs that can run away from people. But the weekend was bookend, which is great college football. Little concerned with Texas A&M. Thought they should have came out a little hotter. Was concerned with Houston. Houston got the win and covered. Actually, Houston did cover. I had a great cover weekend. This week, I was fun. Listen, Husky bets. Y'all see the championship belt, man. Y'all see the Husky bets, but y'all see the Husky bets. Y'all see Kobe back in. When you got Kobe, and I found this too. I didn't find it actually right now. I found this little league picture of mine, man. I had to set it up there. So y'all see, I played my football back in my day too. But there was nothing in college football this weekend that made me go, everything made me go, huh? And Husky bets, I had a great weekend. I had a great weekend on Husky bets too, man. I think it was 17-2. 19 picks on the spread, 17-2. I'm going to be rich. Trust me on that, man. Yeah, that's true confidence talking too. I'm going to be, I want to be rich. Y'all remember that song right there? Oh, I want to be rich. Maybe I'm showing my age right there, though. But we'll see what these polls also turn out with college football, too. I would like them to get rid of the polls when they do the new 12-team playoff. I love this 12-team playoff. As I said a minute ago, it gives everybody a chance because NIL is so important now, and NIL is a huge part of what college football is. And these kids should be making money. These kids should be making money. New polls did come out today. Oh, no, actually they haven't. They haven't been revised just yet. Oh, that's preseason. So they haven't been revised just yet, but we know Notre Dame's going to fall. Utah's going to fall. I would fall Texas A&M. I would leap Michigan over Texas A&M. Oklahoma, Baylor, Oregon's going to fall out of 11. Oklahoma State's probably going to be in the top 10. NC State, SC is going to make a huge leap. Michigan State has a chance to actually really screw up a lot of what's happening in the top because they're going to get Michigan State, we know, in the interstate big brother, little brother game there against the Wolverines. we'll talk more about Michigan there here in a second. And then they also get Ohio State at home, and they would be able to give a little payback for the ass whooping that Ohio State put on them last year when they were expected to go up there and give Ohio State a game. And by the end of the first quarter, the game was over. It was done. So you get a chance to get some revenge on that. Alabama strong. Ohio State, we'll see what's up with them. I think they have holes. Clemson, we'll see what's up with them tonight. I know the spread is huge with them and Georgia Tech tonight. Something just tells me, watch this game tonight, though, guys. Get some wings, relax, watch this game tonight. And this could be a lot closer than people think. I want to check the spread quick. 24 points. And honestly, I would take Georgia Tech with a plus 1,500 right now on that 24 points. It's at Georgia Tech. That's the only shot I'm giving them. And I just think early in the year in week 1, there's no preseason in college football. What was so important about LSU and Florida State last night is Florida State had already played a game in week 0. If I'm a college football coach, I'm scheduling myself for a week 0 game. If I'm a college football coach, I'm scheduling myself in week 7 or week 0. Get my guys out there. You can't scrimmage another university. You're just going against each other. You don't know what you're going to get. And I think that we don't know what Clemson's going to be tonight. I would pay attention. Plus on the plus 24. I mean, it's a plus 1,500 on the money line. It's a minus 110 on the plus 24. But on the plus 24, let's just say you take that bet. I would put it on the spread. Put it on the money line. That's what I would do. I would put it on the money line. I wouldn't put it on the spread. The plus 1,500 is just super juicy. $100 gets you, 100 gets you 1,500. What, 1,600 back? 100 gets you 16 back on the money line. And that's just for them to win. Put it on the money line on Georgia Tech. If Georgia Tech wins the game, 1,500. If they don't, you lose 100. Now you can put it on the spread, but then you only win $90. Which is fine for some people if they're just building their pot. One thing I'm focusing on with Husky Bets is building my pot. So I have some large parlays, but then week to week, you take 4 or 5 parlays on spreads in college football. You can make yourself some serious money. I'm talking like bill paying off money, like student loan paying off money, like 3 or 4 months of a car payment money. This weekend, I won't tell you guys what I made, but it's going to grow real fast, guys. It's going to grow real fast. And I was starting the Husky Bets website, and I mean this. God actually told me to stop. God told me to stop. I think my purpose and my will from him is to use it to help build my family and help out a few friends, not the masses. I help the masses out in other ways. I think this was one way God told me, don't build a website. Don't worry about charging people for the website. If he tells me something different later, but I think for right now, it's just for me to build a little bank account on the side and do some major things for my family, especially my children and my business interests over the next 12 months. So that's what I'm doing with it. But my homies, my peoples, I still shoot you guys text messages, shoot you guys my picks and things of that nature. And I'll put some stuff out. This weekend, I put out 13 of my picks on Twitter, but I wanted Bernie Fredo to see it. He's the big Fox Bet Vegas guy. I wanted my man Bernie to see it. Hey, bro, I'll be out there a few times this year. We got to sit and have a sandwich and a ginger ale, man, and rap a little bit about the sports betting thing. I think I'm pretty decent at it. Actually, no, I think I'm pretty good at it. I gotta own it. My therapist told me you gotta own it without being arrogant. Okay, but this weekend, looking at the polls, there's gonna be a lot of movement. I look at teams like Wisconsin, Pittsburgh will fall, Miami will jump up, Arkansas, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Wake Forest, Cincinnati took a L, Houston held on, and then there's BYU. So there'll be some shakeup early because I think you might get 3 top 10 teams lose, especially if Clemson loses tonight. I mean, Clemson would have lost, Utah would have lost, and Oregon would have lost, and Notre Dame would have lost. So Oregon's number 11. So 5 of the top 11 would have lost. So that's already some early shakeup. I don't think any of them will fall that far down, but it does make room for SC, Miami, and NC State pulled off a close one against Eastern Carolina. Eastern Carolina missed the field goal there down the clutch to win that game. And then, of course, the big like surprise shot game of week 1. But it in Appalachian State's way, it was the Appalachian State North Carolina game, but it didn't end in their way. It didn't end in their favor. They didn't win the game. It was just close. And North Carolina's got some issues too, which is really surprising because most people felt and thought that North Carolina 2 years ago was supposed to contend for an ACC championship. And possibly we thought Sam Howell was a first-round draft pick coming off of that sophomore season. So, or maybe it was his junior season. I'm not sure if he was a junior or senior when he came out. I think he might have been a senior when he came out, so he had to come out. But he did have really two dominant running backs who are doing very well in the NFL right now. So there's that factor. But if I want to just go team to team just really fast, Alabama, powerful, Bryce Young, defending Heisman Trophy winner, weapons everywhere as always. Took on a weak opponent at home and did what they were supposed to do, put 55 on the board. The fuck eyes at number 2, I just see holes. And I thought they'd blow Notre Dame out. I said on Saturday on Fox Sports Radio that I thought Notre Dame would keep it close in the first half, and then they would pull away in the second half and beat them by, 17, 20 points. I was dead on at halftime, but then in the second half, they couldn't pull away, and they needed the fact that Notre Dame, as I've already mentioned in the NFL on offense, you need a guy out there. You need a stud that you could just get the ball to and say, go make me a play. Notre Dame doesn't have that guy. And this toughness that Ryan Day spoke of that they showed, that Ohio State showed, I didn't see it there. Also, to Zeke with your pocketbook, LeBron trying to draw attention, bring his son there and all this other stuff, man. Like, I'm telling you guys, they have to go to Penn State and they have to go to Michigan State. Ohio State does. They got to go to both those schools. They get us at home, but we've proven we can beat Ohio State in Ohio State. We've done it 25, 30 times in the history of playing there. Like, we've done it a bunch of times. So, Ohio State, I think I have some questions about. Georgia, keep on ticking. Defending national champions. Oh, they lost a lot on defense. So you don't think they recruit? You don't think that they have kids that want to prove themselves? You don't think that they have players and guys that want to get on the field and prove they can be just as good as the team or the players that were there before them? They get an opportunity now so they could go make some National Football League money and make some NIL money and make a noise for themselves, playing the conference championship game in the SEC in Atlanta against possibly Alabama again, and go to the college playoffs and play for another semifinal and possibly defend their national championship once again. First one they won in 40 years. You don't think Georgia's got that? They do. Clemson, we'll find out about them tonight. I think the defense will be much better than it was, but the coaching staff being depleted the way it was, I think, is a factor. I know most people want to shake that off. That's a factor in football. I am definitely not the guy that's coaching doesn't matter. There's really idiots out there that say stuff like that. Coaching doesn't matter. Coaching does matter. Then why the hell did we got coaches from Pee Wee League all the way to the NFL? All the way to the top level, there's coaches, so coaching matters. We'll see if those change. I know a lot of people like Dabo Swinney's choices and his hires, but we'll see how far that goes. Notre Dame, they've already taken a loss. They have a really good defense, but their coach is a defensive-minded guy, so that didn't surprise me. I thought their defense would be well and would play well, and they did. But once again, they just don't have a guy. Who's their offensive guy? Who's their guy they could just go get the ball to and say, go get us a first down. Go get us a dub. Go get us a dub, not just a W on the win. Go get us dub 20. Go get us a 20-yard catch on 3rd and 11. We need that right now. Go get us a 25-yard catch on 1st and 10. First down, boom. 25 yards. Look at that chunk right there. Boom. We're right back to another first down. We got another set of downs after picking up 25 yards. That's big in college football. They don't have that. They'll fall down. Texas A&M will stay where they are at 6, maybe 5, depending upon what happens with Clemson, how far they move up. Not impressive, though. They weren't impressive. I know that game had a really long delay because of a weather storm, but I just don't think that I thought Jimbo would have and should have this program a lot further than he does already. I thought that he would, and that at this point he should have this program further than he would. They haven't even been to a college playoff. They haven't even played for a conference championship. And I thought leaving Florida State was a mistake. You just won a national championship. I don't know if there were some things going on there that nobody knew about and they didn't want to bring up and talk about, but you just won a national championship there with Jameis. The move, and I know Texas money runs long. I know it runs long. I know the facilities, the recruiting, but you had a really good thing going in the in the ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, just basically battling Dabo. But now you got to deal with Kirby. LSU could be back. You got to deal with Saban and Bama. Every now and then, Ole Miss with Kiffin down there now. I mean, it's a tougher road. So that always surprised me there. But I thought we would have seen what we expected him to do there a lot sooner, and we haven't seen it yet. Number one recruiting class coming in. We'll see where it goes from here. Utah lost a tough one. They should have won that game at Florida. To be honest with you, you got to win that game. If you want me to take you seriously, as far as people are saying, Utah is legitimate college football playoff candidate this year. No, they're not. They can't even go down to Florida and beat Florida with a new coach and a bunch of new players that most people who watched that game did not know about before the game started. Just the facts, man. Michigan, J.J. McCarthy's the guy. That's all I'm going to say. And listen, I'm never one. I try to not pick on kids. And sometimes I think college players are still kids. Just because you're 20 and 21 doesn't make you a man. I think some of them are still kids. The way Kay McNamara responded to the reporter as far as him being the starter and then not being the starter the final week. Did you see his first 4 or 5 throws? I've been saying this for over a year. He's not the guy. And he got voted a captain because he is a senior and because J.J. McCarthy didn't have a spring because he was coming off of shoulder surgery. So that's why you got all the reps. And your first 5 or 6 throws just look bad. You look shuttled in the pocket. You don't have the mobility. I know you won the Big Ten last year and beat Ohio State, but we ran the ball down their throat. It wasn't your arm. You threw an interception in that game. J.J. McCarthy is the big fish. He's the shark. He's the gorilla. He's the silverback. He's the lion. He's the king. He's the biggest bald eagle on the top of the branch. That's who this kid is. 5-star recruit out of IMG. Everybody knows it. We've seen the highlights. We've seen the videos. And then when you put him in the game, he's got wheels. He can move and run. The offense just opens up. Harbaugh naming McCarthy the starter from week 1 was out of respect, and he's a captain, and you cannot bench a captain. I don't want to hear about the NIL or the portal. The only player that was concerned with was J.J. McCarthy. If McNamara wanted to transfer, he could transfer. They have Orgy and another quarterback behind you coming in anyway, bro. They're better than you now. They just don't have the experience. So his comments really, really rubbed me wrong because it doesn't sound like a team guy. Sounds like a me guy. And for Michigan to go back, repeat, defend the Big Ten, get back to the college playoff, and finish the job, finish business this year, J.J. McCarthy must be the quarterback. Bigger arm, better arm, more athletic, more electric, just brings everything to the field. And the fans are waiting on it. And Harbaugh is such the Mad Hatter. It's not Mike Leach. He's the mad scientist. He played you guys. He threw the Bible in it. How can you go against it when you throw biblical at it? Solomon and now RG3, who has connections to Baltimore, where John Harbaugh is, read a text message that John Harbaugh sent them because he was doing the game with Mark Jones on Saturday, and they talked about this. He then went and texted him the Bible verse and texted him the verse and the part of the Bible where it come from when he said about Solomon and his quarterback decision. And it's just like, these guys are the Mad Hatters. The Harbaughs are the real mad scientists. They're the real Mad Hatters. And I loved it. And I know why he did it. He did it because you simply have to just give the respect to the senior that's been there. But the only reason why JJ wasn't there in the spring is because he had shoulder surgery. Had it not been for that, he'd have outplayed them all spring and in the fall camp and been named the starter. That's what you're recruiting them for. To say they're going to do it both, I have a feeling that they've taught the JJ, listen, you're the guy. You got to get through this. You're going to be the guy. JJ's going to be the guy. They got Hawaii coming up. They put up 51 like it was nothing and should have had 65 probably. They probably should have had 66, but McNamara, he's not the guy. McCarthy's worth 2 more touchdowns. That's a 66-3 win for Michigan, and they got Hawaii coming in. They play all 4 September games at home. They get Michigan State at home. They get Penn State at home. They get Iowa at home. They get everybody at home except for the Buckeyes. But like I've said, we've proven we can go up there and beat them. That's not a problem. Oklahoma looked dominant. I expect them to be on cue with where they've been the last few years. I don't think they'll win a national championship. It's going to be interesting to see what they do against Texas in the Red River Shootout. No, I'm not going to call it the Red River Rivalry and all this other new names. It's the Red River Shootout. It's always been that. It will always be that for me. Baylor also strong showing. Oregon, we know what that was. Oklahoma State, NC State holds on. SC at 14. I would like SC to leap a few of these teams. I'm officially telling you guys right now, it's episode 1 of this season of Veejay'S Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I think we're in season. What season we're in? Season 8? Season 8. Veejay'S Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm officially telling you guys I have adopted one LA team that I will root for and I will cheer for and I will pull for, and that is SC football. I will rock hard. I'm rocking hard with SC football. Everybody knows I'm a Michigan fan. Everybody knows my side love and my side crush for Florida State. It's always been that. But out here at West, I don't have to really worry about them battling the other two teams that I kind of look at. Michigan's my team. Florida State I love also. It's my side crush. It's my side chick. It's my college football side chick is Florida State. But then I got another little Florida college football side chick too. She bad. And she do some different things that the main chick and the FSU side chick don't do. So I got to rock with her. So I am officially telling everybody that I'm rocking with SC football, not over Michigan, not over Florida State, but when they play and they're not playing them two teams, I pull for them to win. I'm adopting one of the LA teams. I don't want to do Kings or anything UCLA. I don't like Westwood. I don't like the blue and the gold and yellows. I don't like the way it looks. It looks like they're trying to copy North Carolina too much with our Carolina blue. They don't even call it Carolina blue, and that's kind of what it is. But and the Angels and the Dodgers and all that. I don't want to claim those teams. So SC football, I like me some Reggie Bush. I like Keyshawn Johnson when he was here. Marcus Allen was always one of my favorite players. O.J. Simpson is one of the most interesting, if anything, sports figures ever, right? And they've had a bunch of Troy Polamalu. They've had a bunch of guys that you can respect football-wise come out of SC. So that's why I've chosen to rock with SC as my West Coast team. And I would like to see them jump a few of these teams. Michigan State, Miami, I think should move up too. I know Pittsburgh's going to fall. Wisconsin's going to also be super tough. Ohio State has to go up to Wisconsin September 24th. Watch that game also too. Always tough to go play out there. Kentucky, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Wake Forest, Cincinnati, Houston, and BYU round out the top 25 so far. It's going to be a great college football season, guys. It really is. I know the top is top heavy with Bama and Georgia, and I'm still waiting to see who the third and fourth team is. I don't believe it's Ohio State, and I don't believe it's Clemson. I don't believe in those two teams this year. It's like me not believing in the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL this season. Just don't believe in them. Don't believe in the Patriots. I'm trying to go through my quick don't believe games as we wrap this show up here, coming up on an hour and a half. I'm not going to do the 2 and 3 hour shows I used to do before, guys, because coming back on every day, I don't want to drown you guys out. So we'll always do the top stories, the top topics. We'll talk the top things. NFL preview coming up Thursday morning, September, what is that, the 9th? Because the 11th is Sunday, so it's the 8th, I believe. September 8th, the day that the Bills will be out here in Los Angeles playing the Rams to kick off Thursday Night Football for the NFL season for the 2022-2023 NFL season. Be out here will be our full NFL preview show. That show may go about 2.5 hours, but I'm not going to drag on with some of the teams. Like when we get to the Bears, we'll just probably say, get Justin Fields some help next. The Atlanta Falcons, get a quarterback next year. Pitts, have a great year, buddy. Drake London, hope you're healthy. SC receiver, next. It's going to be easy to talk certain teams. Other teams will get a little more in depth too. But we're going to talk a ton of high school football, a ton of college football. High school football has been great to start off the year. Mater Dei went out to Vegas. They were down to Bishop Gorman, and Elijah Brown, who is a junior out there, and now, a senior from Mater Dei quarterback, another top-notch guy coming out of high school. They just keep pumping them out on Mater Dei. Actually brought them back. Bosco's blowing people off the field. Centennial's doing what they need to do. They actually played Mater Dei this past weekend. But Oaks Christian, you look at Duncanville, you look at the teams in Texas and Dallas and South Dallas, the WCAC schools, St. Patrick's, St. John Bosco, St. John's Prep in Jersey. There's some real powerful schools. And then, of course, St. Thomas Aquinas is going to be really good. Hoover is going to be really good also this year. Massillon, I think it is in Ohio. There'll be another top-notch football team also this year, too. I won't waste your time going through the top football for high school. We'll probably do that tomorrow, or we'll do that on Wednesday. So NFL coming up this Thursday. College football was great this weekend. Other real quick sports notes. Shout out to Serena Williams. I don't think that she's the best black female tennis player or best female tennis player, I believe she's the best tennis player ever of all time, and I'll take that to my grave. Just like Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer. Yeah, he didn't catch Jack, but we just know who is the greatest. Our eyes tell us who the greatest golfer was. He had strings and he had runs that have never been done. He's an all-time leader. I think the tie with Sam Snead or right behind Sam Snead and tour wins of all time. So that right there alone, to me, in my opinion, makes you the greatest golfer, especially in the individual sport. Baseball's coming down to the final stretch here in September. Now we know Aaron Judge is chasing home runs. I don't think he catches bombs. I know for some reason I see people wanting to focus on Roger Maris's 60 for some reason. I don't understand why we're so concerned about him getting the 60. The record is 73, and that should be but I know. But those are the same people that tell us, oh, but I'm not discrediting those guys. But you're talking about him catching Roger Maris and not other people that hit over 60. Sammy Sosa did it 1, 2, 3 times. Sammy Sosa, he take bat. Oh, I bet. Hold 1 second. Sammy Sosa, he get back like this. And he's going to get a good pitch. And he's going to get a good pitch. If you're going to get a good pitch, then you're going to put the bat right here. You put bat on the ball and go. So Sammy Sosa did it 3 times, man. I'm not understanding why we're focusing on Judge so much. I think it's just baseball purists that are trying to hold on to something and bring something to baseball. Because right now, high school football, NFL, college football, NBA hijacked the whole summer. They're going to start soon. Hockey's going to start soon. This is the best time of year. It's not even close. Baseball, Yankees lead in the AL East is down to 5.5 between Tampa, but they did beat Tampa. I don't think the Blue Jays are right there also, too, for a wild card. And then also in the Central, I think the Central could be a wrap. It's 6.5 in the Central between the – or is that a half a game? I'm sorry. Oh, my God. A half in a game and then 2 games with the White Sox. So the Central is probably the most interesting division in baseball right now. And we'll see how that one ends up. The Guardians have lost 5 in a row, but also the Twins and the Sox have also lost back-to-back games. Playoff percentages for all 3 of those teams, 45.1 for the Guardians, 34.7 for the Twins, 23.1 for the Shy Sox. Over in the West, the Astros 10 up on the Mariners. My Rangers 27.5 out. It's okay. And we've lost 8 in a row, and there goes the year. There goes any chance of the wild card. Mariners making a little move right now, 7 in a row, plus 66. But when you look at what the Astros are doing, plus 169 and run differential is huge. And lately, I'm thinking it's the Astros and Mets in the World Series. I might stick with that. I might call that right now. And I know it's September, but right now, I look at them and I look at the Mets. I love the Mets at 85 and 50. They're only 1 game over the Braves. So the Braves bounce back. Remember how bad the Braves started out? Plus 155 and score run differential. So they're turning the season completely around, winning 5 in a row. And the Mets are not helping with 2 back-to-back losses. They will both make the playoffs. They're at 99.9% of playoff making probability. So they will both make the playoffs. The Cardinals in the West, looks like they might have that thing sewn up over the Brewers, 8.5. Last 4, they won in a row. The Brewers' chances of making the playoffs are 37% anyway. So even the wild card's not looking good. I'm taking my son to our very first father-son baseball game. Going to the Dodgers on the 23rd. The Cardinals will be in town. Hopefully, Pujols will hit 700 that night. I would love to have that moment with my son and say that Pujols, that was the night we were at the game in Chavez Ravine when Pujols hit number 700. So excited for that night. But they looks like they might have that division also. And then the Dodgers and the Padres was ill as the Padres are 74 and 61. So right now in the wild card, they hold the advantage at 85.9% of making the playoffs, 19 games behind the Padres. Ever since they made the deal for Juan Soto, the Dodgers have been handing them their natural Southern California border, Mexican USA border ass. And I love San Diego. San Diego was such a vibe. I was just in San Diego with Raynell and the kids. We had a great time. I had me some tacos from the taco stand. We was chilling at the rooftop pool overlooking the bay and the marina. It's beautiful. San Diego is such a vibe. It's beautiful there, man. And shout out to the La Carte Hotel. They always hold us down and take care of us out there. But the Dodgers right now, 92 and 41. Best record in the majors. I remember all them Yankee fans. Best record in the majors. How long did that last? That's why you don't talk shit to me in July. It's not going to hold up. Y'all should know by now. So baseball standings are coming down tight to the end of the season. So we'll hold on through September. I think the only thing interesting is the Central. is the AL Central and also in the NL East. The NL East and AL Central seem to be the ones that still have intrigue. We'll watch those teams and watch those scores night to night. So we'll always bring you baseball updates. Also, my man Kyrgios in the U.S. Open last night knocked off the number 1 seed. I call him the darkened version of John McEnroe because that's who everybody refers to him as because of his outbursts and his big personality. Look, if you don't like outbursts, guys, and you don't like big personality, then turn the sports off then. This is kind of what sports is. Turn the sports off if that's what you don't like. I don't mind it. I think we're a little soft now in sports as far as fans go. So I would love to see more energy out of him and see how far he can go. Also, my girl Coco Gauff, straight sets. She was pumped. I'll definitely be watching the remainder of her matches. And my man, now I'm hoping that I haven't missed too much of the U.S. Open because I've been super busy with some other things that's been going on. And I'm thinking, hold on, man. Did I miss Rafael Nadal? I'm sure I didn't see him getting have been eliminated or anything like that. I haven't seen that. Would have been a big story. But Nadal is another guy I always pull for too. 2019, last time they was there, he walked away with the championship. They didn't have it in 2020. And last year he was hurt, I believe. So that is something else we'll also keep an eye on. But big NFL stuff coming up later this week. I have the NFL preview show on Thursday morning, possibly. I believe it'll be Thursday morning. I'm trying to think in my head. Yeah, it'll be Thursday morning. Probably about 9 or 10 a.m. is when I'll come on air. And we'll have the NFL preview show. We'll talk all 32 teams, all the different storylines, and get to it in about 2.5 hours. As I said, again, a lot of college football, man. So great to be back. I want to thank Richmond Webb for joining us today. No basketball talk over here, guys. Not unless it's me dumping on LeBron. Yo, Z, also, too, all y'all showing up to stand on the field. Stop it. Get there, man. Go to your damn seat. Go to your seat, man. Go to your box or whatever. Why are you on the field? What does that do? And I think that jinx Ohio State. You know when LeBron show up, y'all don't win. When LeBron show up to watch and support, when he shows allegiance, remember Duke shows allegiance, Carolina wiped them. Remember he showed up for the Cleveland Indians, now the Guardians, flexing when he saw himself on the big screen, flexing all hard when they was coming back in that game, lost. No. Did anybody care? No. Could Einstein? Could he catch? No. Did anybody care? No. Did anybody care that you're there? Come on, man. Always make it about himself. One thing I will say, I ain't going to bang on his kids, but you notice it's him saying he wants to play in the league with his kids. His kids haven't said it once. Bronny Jr.'s never coming out and be like, yeah, I can't wait, man. It'll be a dream to play with my dad. It's kind of LeBron's thing. I'm just saying, we'll discuss it a whole lot more. But I want to thank Richmond Webb for joining in today, man. I want to thank everybody tuning in. Veejay'S on Sportsmanlike Conduct, live on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Twitter, IG, and LinkedIn. I appreciate all you guys, man. Great show. Y'all stay blessed. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day. If you're in SoCal or anywhere where it's dumb hot, it's 108 today. It was 109, and like the next town over a little ways, it was 111 yesterday. So it's been baking, and it's supposed to cool down to 82 tomorrow, but the news last night said nope, record scratch. Nah, it's still gonna be hot, so I can't wait for the cool off. Hopefully, it's cooled off by my birthday, September 22nd, man. Veejay'S Unsportsmanlike Conduct, man. Y'all stay blessed, and remember, man, if you can't be good, at least be good at it, man. God bless. Happy Labor Day, guys. Peace.